Hello, everybody. Welcome to Powers of Wisdom. We are having the first full moon of 2025. And as I mentioned in the last reading, it's also actually the last full moon in the Chinese New Year of the Dragon. And the next dark moon, we enter into the year of the snake. And the snake is also the Naga, and the Naga is actually also a dragon figure, but one without wings. So we are moving into a very powerful time, and you will see that immediately now when I share the chart with you. It's quite one-sided this time. And you can see that on the left side, there is practically nothing, and everything is on the right side of the chart, except only for the 10th house that we have some energy here with the moon in Gemini. The moon in Gemini with the sun in Sagittarius. So again, we have a topic of moving beyond. And the moon is together with the retrograde Mars. So even if they try to create all kind of war scenarios with the retrograde Mars. They are not successful in doing the big thing that they wanted to do. Just put that in front of it, and especially because that's in Gemini. So it has something to do with the consciousness of people, with the knowing, with the awakening, with the energy shift that is going on in the moment, that so many more have an idea what's going on. So they will not go or will not succeed with their plans, which is very clear here. So we have here the AC is Virgo, and Virgo is a sign of harvest. So we have again to see that a lot of it, what is happening is actually a harvest from the past. There is absolutely no coincidence, and everybody, and I'm sorry to say that, has chosen the place to be where they are right now and to experience what they experience now. And one of the reasons is because see, when we have the MC just at the cusp between Taurus and Gemini, so we can see that the energy of learning to bring the material aspects to communicate with the divine aspects also of materialization of another life, of a new life. This is very significant because always when a place, a planet, whatever is just between two signs, it has even more significance than when it's just inside of one sign. So we have here Gemini, and in the bottom of the IC, the root of the chart, we see that it has already moved into Sagittarius. With the first planet here coming up in the chart is Mercury. And again, Mercury is connected with the persona, the word that comes from the Latin personare, means talking through. So persona and personare means talking through the mask. The persona is the mask or the costume of the soul. So that's not who we are. Again, you cannot find in the astrology chart, even in a personal chart, of who you are, but you see a lot of things around you, and especially the curriculum of what is unfolding now in the moment. And this is what's going on. So we are forced to see a bigger picture. Let's put it that way for now, because here it is also the karmic aspect that we are going to is a retrograde Uranus. That means we have to focus inside and not outside. The explosions that are happening in Aries is in that way the sign of the warrior. But again, don't be the warrior, be the warrior. To worry is O. Warrior is with A, RRO. So you can choose which you want to be, but I would prefer if you choose to be a spiritual warrior. And this is actually, see, that's the task. We have a triangle here that is here also with the half square and another. See, that's a bit complicated with all these triangles that we have here. We can just see that there is a lot of karmic things going on, including when we look at the retrograde planets of Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus. So we can see Jupiter, the expansion planet, so don't expand outside, expand inside. Uranus is the messenger of the divine. We can say it is the transport company or the post office between up and below, between the higher self and the mundane ego self, which is bringing messages that we understand from the past. This is why it's a sign of harvest, also with the descending node here. So that means that now the karma is playing out for the whole world. Now, many of you know, especially people who are listening to my readings, they know that I'm talking much more than just what is happening now, but always to try to see the whole big pictures. And this all the way goes back to Atlantis. And in a way, we are in the same position again as we were there, but this time we succeed. And we don't need to have this cataclysm that will kill so many, even though a lot of people have chosen to leave the planet for the process of ascension. Now, one thing that is very important here to understand, I was talking about that before, which was connected to the false matrix. Within that time that they have ruled everything, you know what I mean, they put a gate when somebody dies. You know, we go a gate, kind of through a gate, a light gate to the other side. So they have put a gate of white light, and this is a bright white neon bluish light. And of course, we are all had to learn to go to the white light, go to the white light. No, please don't go there, because the real light, the real divine light is more of a golden color. It is also very light, but like a pale gold or a golden white. And they put this white gate in front of the real divine gate so that people went into the wrong place. And they came to the cycle of reincarnation within the meaning of the karma as we know it today. So this gate is not there anymore. This white gate is gone. It's not there anymore. So there are many who choose to leave the planet now because it's easier, because now they cannot be captured through the wrong gate and be forced into this reincarnation karma cycle as in the past, but they will directly go into the divine matrix or the future, where the matrix is not controlled anymore from dark beings. So for many, it's the best way out in the moment to elevate their spirit and to move on into a higher timeline. Through the process of death, you know, that we have this kind of memory of our whole life. We can see things clear, and we can also know, and you know what, I'm not talking from just blah, blah, because I have experienced it. And I've been there, and I have also worked with a friend of mine in trance to redeem souls, to guide them beyond that neon white light to the real divine light. So now it is much easier for them. They cannot be captured anymore through negative entities. And I'm not talking about the really bad guys. That's not the same story. But those who are ready, but are, for example, in a very difficult situation in their life. For example, somebody has to care for family, or whatever, and they cannot escape. They tried to escape, but they had no way because their linear mind could not yet reconnect high enough to the divine self that they could free themselves. But to die in the physical body, and it's just the physical body that dies, we have to see that again. That is not the death of you or me. We are moving on. We are divine beings having this human body, this human experience now to evolve, to move forward. And actually, only the really courageous souls are here, because the others, they would never incarnate on a planet like this because it's difficult. But difficult is the challenge, and that's what we wanted. And this is why maybe in the outside it looks very difficult, but in fact, it's not really. It is a different story. So now when we look at these constellations here with this, see, this is kind of a, what is it, for, I don't know the geometric form that this would be. This made with this opposition, and then we have here a half square, then we have another square, and going back here connected to this two lines that are connected with Pluto and Sun. And again, you know, Pluto, that is the journey through the underworld where we have to let go everything. So many, now we have to look at that from a different perspective. Many are choosing to leave the body because this is their best chance. It's not a punishment. And especially also many who had certain injection or other illness connected with it, they choose to leave so they can leave the pain, they can leave the body to be able to reincarnate afterwards, to have a body again in a higher frequency, on a organic or universal matrix, and not a false one that is captured from dark beings to enslave humanity. I think this is the most difficult thing to understand in the moment, because we are not used to let go. But did you know that in certain cultures in the past, actually, that was celebrated as graduation? So I think it's really time that we look at it from this perspective again. Now, this is what that means also, what the goal is, to leave all these aspects of false material hopes, of false material satisfaction, you know, that cannot make you happy. I mean, you might have all experienced that you wanted so badly something. I remember when I was young, I get a radio from my godmother, and I endured a lot of stuff to get to that point. But you know what? I was excited to have the radio, but was I more happy? Not really. And it's again with everything, even the new shiny car or the diamonds or whatever it is, it's not making you happy. Happiness is a state within that is connected with being satisfied and fulfilled in life. To have something that is worth living and not material things. So this is the step out of this. See, that's that inner expansion that we have to do, that is not materializing, because that's also the house of Sagittarius, the ninth house. We have just at the cusp of here, the retrograde Uranus. This is the whisper from the divine, the message from the angels, whatever and however you perceive it, that is helping you to move beyond this material fixation into the communication with the soul. And here is the power, also with Mars retrograde, not in the power of war and having a lot of things and political power and all that kind of stuff. This is again not what makes us happy. And then we look at the opposition that goes to Sun and Pluto. So the consciousness undergoes a profound transformation with Pluto here in Capricorn. And Capricorn is a sign that is the last earth sign. And all three earth signs are here highlighted in this chart. When we let go of the material illusion, the sign in the way of the winter when the trees are bare in the cold countries, where you see the skeleton of the trees, where you see where the camouflage of all the beautiful leaves and flowers and fruits and whatever it is gone. We just see the naked truth of the skeleton. So this is the transformation, and there will be many in this whole transformation that it's coming also for the this coming year 2025, because it's a 9-year, which is the end of the numbers 1 to 9. Then we start the second cycle with the 2 numbers and then 3 numbers and so on. And this is meaning that we come to an end. And this is also when we look at the karmic aspect here. Now, this is it's like a last chance aspect. You know, it's like now we have a chance to move into another dimension, to get into another train. And I told you about that dream that I had so many times. It was a long time ago. It was actually before I moved to Thailand that I had that dream that I always was running to the train station, but was hindered by the heavy suitcase that I couldn't make it to get on the train, until I finally learned in the dream to let go of the suitcase and could catch the train. And that's exactly what happened when I moved here. I had completely to let go my old life as a Swiss person and have to learn a complete different way of life. And it was good. And I'm really grateful for that, because to bring East and West together, that really helped me to see things in a complete different light. And in a way, this is what we have to do now. We have to let go of these fixed ideas of something is good and something is not good. Everything what is happening is serving our evolution. And whatever it is and how horrible it looks in the outside world, always remember, every person had a chance to choose. Even the bad guys, absolutely. And we have to also, like for many who are meditating and do some kind of gratitude, don't pray. You're not the prey, you're not a victim. Bring in the gratitude, bring in the vision. So thank also the dark forces for their service, that we could learn to evolve, because if they would not have been here, we would never be where we are. And honestly, the most important lessons I learned when I was in trouble, or when somebody hurt me. Then I learned, because then I was focused, as long as everything was nice and good, so you don't pay so much attention. But whoa, when you have the fist right in front of your nose, you think about what is going on. And this is what is actually this last events that are happening, that are necessary for the ascension of the whole planet, of those who remain, and those who are close to move into a higher timeline, and those who are already in a higher timeline, to teach those and bring them up with the planet. So again, there's no way, we don't have to escape, we don't have to run away, but many are now leaving the body to be ready to elevate their consciousness, so they can communicate again with the soul, with their higher self. So when they come back, and when we come back, we will not have forgotten everything as it was in the past, because we will be on an organic matrix. We will be on a, you can say, divine matrix, and a positive matrix, and not one that tries to enslave us. So this time that is now, this, for when we look at the solar year is connected with our consciousness, you know, the sun. And again, I would say the solar year starts at the 25th of December, and not at the solstice, and not at the equinox, because this is the cycle of the sun, not the season of the physical planet. And when we look at this chart, even if it looks a bit wild and all these red and orange lines are not so very beautiful to experience, but they are important. Just remember that you are not here in a physical body just once or just for a few years. You are an eternal being, a soul that is living in eternity and going from one evolution to the other, one level to the other. And we have come all the way down here to experience the lowest frequencies possible with an energy field. I have sometimes a little bit the problem to say a planet, but it's an energy field, the matrix, that give us the free will, the chance to choose. Just imagine how great that is and what you have chosen, how powerful beings, in fact, that you are. And again, only the most powerful beings are here, not those who are still a little bit, oh, I don't know really what I want to do. Even if in the moment, in the matrix, you are at this point, if you reconnect with your soul, then you will realign yourself again with the true being that you are. And that is what is happening now. So this is about harvest, about looking at things that we can let them go again. You know, my usual preaching: what you resist persists, what you look at disappears. I know a few of you are probably pissed with that already, that I say that again and again. But it has to be. We have to look at it, we have to face it, and then it will go away. And then it will dissolve. Here we have here the Pisces, it will go away, it will dissolve. And everything what is happening in your life has a reason. But when you have physical symptoms, I don't say don't go to see a doctor. If you believe that the doctor can help you, then do it, then go. Or you can go to a Chinese doctor, to an acupuncturist, or I recommend to go to see a homeopath or something like outside of the allopathic medicine that will probably help you more. And in this transformation time that we are in, one of the most important things is that you trust. And the trust is about you have chosen this journey. You have chosen to be here right now. So trust that whatever is happening is the right thing, that on the highest level you have chosen, even if you do not remember that consciously with your physical mind in that moment of time. So go ahead, more challenges ahead, and actually, which is very good for us, because just imagine how boring life would be if we would not have all these challenges. I wish you a very powerful time. Remember, you have chosen to be here. You have chosen to experience what you experience now. And it's great, whatever is happening. And please, those who are leaving, those who have a contract to leave, don't pity them. They don't want you to pity them. They want you to say goodbye for now, but just for now, because they will not exist. And if they are loved ones or relatives, people you are very close to, you will see them again. You will be together again. You will choose again to reincarnate together, to be together, to work together. But this is their chance to make the leap now, when they are consciously, as the human, caught in that matrix, in the habit of the matrix. The false matrix is not here anymore, but many are still in the habit of it. And this is the only way to jump out through this kind of a shock. I remember somebody, I think it was my father, said, it's better to have a fast shock. I don't remember, it was in German, it's difficult to say in English. Better an end with a shock than a shock without end. And I agree to that. So it's better to kind of get that push and do something, move on, and then not be in one shock after the other, and not be able to get out of it. And this is also part of what we can observe in the world right now, especially the latest happenings. Please send them light, send them love, those departed, but don't send them pity. This is not what they want, and this is not helping them further. Send them love. That's all we can do. And don't go into a begging situation. Please, God, give me blah, blah, blah. God is not giving you, okay? You are God in this human body, and you do. You have help. You have help from angels, from spirit guides, whatever. They will help you. They are with you all the time. But in the end, it's up to you. And this is the first thing we have to really, truly understand before we can move forward. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. I talk to you soon again. Take good care of yourself and don't worry, be a warrior.